you're gonna use the stuff about the food only as a sample of just a sample of how the culture, the human behavior, and how people get the wrong information from the right person give you the wrong information, and you're like, oh, I'm expecting this to be the truth. It's not the truth, and millions of people
about
can
the health,
yeah, exactly. But this is related to adults.
That the health organization, they disclaimer that the pyramid of nutrition must be full of grains, full of pasta.
At the highest part of the pyramid, which is
exactly.
the bottom. In other words, you get 30% or more of grains and pastas and all the stuff. They created these back in the 60s, right?
Exactly.
And
paid by agriculture.
paid by the people that want to develop hugely agriculture in America and in other parts of the world. So all the other countries, I remember when I was a child, they will show me these in school.
Exactly.
And they tell me this is the way to live. Now, today in 2020, we do understand that that's the reason why other industries develop like pharma, big pharma, which is killing millions of people with diseases that were created originally by this pyramid.
Exactly.
And most people don't understand this, that the pyramid itself, where you eat the bread and the pasta and all the Kellogg's and all the cereals. I mean, I was a child, imagine what kind of a chances do I have to live 100 years or 95 years. When I was a little boy, okay, the ambition was to ever have Kellogg's, the favorite one, of course, was the azucaritos, sucrilos, well, like we call them in Brazil, sucrilos, the ones that come with the tiger, Tony the Tiger, that come in with the extra sugar. The bottom of it is all sugar. You get the Apple Jacks, the bottom of it is all sugar. So all this is a lie. All this is affecting your health, destroying your glucose system, your ketone making system, destroying your ability to how do you call it,
your metabolism.
Insulin resistant, and destroy then your metabolism on a chronic way in the long run,
exactly.
which affects the way you look and everything else. This can affect, momentito, this can affect your whole life, your whole career. You become a fat kid, and now instead of being the kid that they get bullied, you get everything, and all this is related to this pyramid. And
it starts with the wrong nutrition.
Yeah, of course.
Provided by the government.
The government
and then
itself.
The kid starts.
And other countries take it too, like my country took it, like,
exactly.
Oh my God, the gringos said this.
Exactly.
So we gotta do this, you idiots.
And then the kids develop obesity, and then develop
depression,
diabetes, and all these chronic disease. And when you go to the doctor, what the doctor do? They give medicines.
And also because they destroy your hormones, that the boys that got dicks start to think that they might be little girls.
Okay.
That it's better to be little girls. Let me chop off my dick and become a girl. And they come, oh, you're being transphobic and homophobic. Listen, man, it's not about phobic. Phobic is somebody that is afraid of spiders, like you had this thing about phobic against spiders and stuff. There's no phobic. We have God created us the way He did, and this is who we are. Okay.
And then what happened is.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
What happened is, now in 2022, they already understand, and they make on the website, they make a disclaimer that you should eat more vegetables, more fruits, more meat, blah blah blah. But they didn't go out to the media in a large scale to explain that they made a mistake, and now you have to change the way you think.
One second, Thais. How can they make an exchange? How can they make a change if hold on one second. I'm going to take you to a place where they still make billions and billions of dollars, okay, from lobbyists and politicians in government, from these companies that do agriculture, right? Mm-hmm. Plus, that sustained a large economy and developed jobs and so on and so forth, which is a good part of it, even when you're evil, develop jobs. But in the other part, it gave birth to that bigger monster, which is pharma. And now they can sell you, in America, they sell you, remember, this time this doctor had a prescription with this very fancy medicine. And when I looked down in the medicine, it was 100% doxycycline. You can buy doxycycline here in Brazil, a pill for like 10 cents. And in America, you can buy it for your fish tank. And it's the same damn pill. Little blue pill with 100 in it. Mm-hmm. So doxycycline, okay. And how much was when I went to what was the name of the place? Walgreens in America. And you say, go to Walgreens and you say, hey, listen, I want to get this prescription. You're like, you need so many pills, and it's like the bill is like $20,000. What do you mean? I said, well, each pill is $500. Do you have insurance? I mean, it was first asking me if I had insurance. I said, no, I don't have insurance. So insurance companies get billed that much for that. Plus the government gets screwed, which the government wants to get screwed by, let's say, what's his name, Medicaid, Medicare. So the government pays these pharma companies these ridiculous prices to do all kinds of stuff. So it's a big gang, it's a big thing, destroying not only Americans, but it's all related. It's all related in the domino effect. How does this affect the dogs? How you relate? I want you to go into the transition this into the dogs. How is it?
The thing is, when you go to small places, when you go to the house of your grandma, when you go to the barber, those people, they already know this information. It's like the story of Santa Claus. Everybody knows it. So everybody knows it. It's not everybody knows it's fake, mi amor. It's like they have this conception already in their mind that they need to eat bread, they need to eat the pasta because the health organization put it in the pyramid.
Nobody thinks about it anymore like that, Thais. People now, they do it because they're used to it.
Exactly,
let me explain to you
it's
something.
part of the culture.
People, they know. I'm glad you brought Santa Claus. I don't know why you did that, but let me explain to you. Santa Claus, it is a big lie. It doesn't exist. It doesn't have reindeers that fly, nothing. But as society, on top of being idiotic, we accept this to be something that we know is fake, and we promote it, and we encourage it, and we make our children like fools. Like I was a kid and they told me Santa Claus flies, he's gonna bring this. And I was like, man, listen, whatever it takes you to give me the damn toy, give it to me. If you really think this guy is flying, gonna bring me some toys, just give me the toys, okay? Because I just wanted to get the toys. So it's the same thing how people lie, okay, in other avenues. For instance, the fake...
What I want to say is this. The people have this conception still today.
Okay.
When you go to the barber shop, you go to the supermarket, you see people buying because they already have in their heads, their parents told them, their grandparents told them that the pyramid of the health organization tell you to eat more carbs and grains. That's the talk of the town, okay? That's what they have in their head. What happened? Why?
They fly like ships. They become ships.
Why this is related to the dogs?
It's okay, though. That's
related to the dogs because media and ignorant society, because of poor breeding practices, all those pit bulls, they get this bad fame.
They're not pit bulls. I'm sorry. 1 second. I had to.
I understand what
Hold
you're
on one
saying.
second. Hold on a second.
I understand.
They're not pit bulls. They're mutt. They're mutants.
I agree what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying. But for the general public, they never had a pit bull.
They think there's a pit bull.
They think there is a pit bull.
Okay.
It's a pit bull type.
Their perception.
Exactly. So this creates this huge misconception that all pit bulls are bad, and that is the problem. Breeders create these mutts because they need money. They have poor breeding practices. At that time, like 10 years ago, when breeding pit bulls was like the bomb, the top, the this, and they start making these pit bulls available for everyone, and they didn't care about genetical selection. They didn't care about I have a man biter, so a man biter will become like this bomb, this obesity bomb. So I'm not going to use this dog because 10 generations in front of me, these dogs are going to generate all other man biters, and these dogs are going to be in the media. These guys are going to be killing people and etc. So that is the misconception that we have. You understand?
Yes. Let me tell you, I want to go a little deeper on what you said because there's layers to this, right? There always have been dogs in the past, and nobody, including us, can go away from having dogs before me. That, for instance, Grand Champion Mayday himself was not the most friendly dog with people, and then his father Yellow was okay, I guess, but his grandfather Mayday, he was Mayday was not even invited, by the way, so I don't want anybody to take it. But his grandfather, which I think was one of the greatest dogs ever, it was Yellow John. I look at Yellow John, I look at this gene of Yellow John being passed over, to Mayday through his father, to Mayday's father, and then Mayday passing this on to Macho, one-time winner, father of Awesome Buck, and Awesome Buck having this gene. It's a very rare gene where a dog can be bred one time and produce clusters. If you breed him the second time, he produces clusters. That dog right there was a triple bred red boy dog, and it turned out to be that he beat the daughter of the owner, and he got killed for being a man biter, but he already produced great dogs. The owner he was very upset, of course, because what happened and stuff like that. But going back into men biters, we don't breed, we don't get men biters, so I'm not even worried about what I'm breeding in terms of like these dogs, because I don't have it. But the so-called these called standards, Duggars and Dugmans, and because this is confusion. The whole world, the whole concept, going to what you were saying, is the whole concept that the word Dugman is someone that can actually make great decisions. When you call me and tell me, hey, how I breed my dog, what do you think? I've been in the game for 20 years. Do you think I should breed this way or that way? What's your opinion? Automatically, you're not a dogman. Real dogmen don't need to ask those questions. They already know the answer to those questions, right? That's why they went through long times, 15 years, 20 years, and became dogmen. And so the thing about it is becoming a dogman. And just like you talk about the food and everything, how everything became fake. Well, at one point back in the 60s, people will talk about it. I wouldn't know about this pyramid when I went to, if I didn't go to school, and my mother and my father will talk about it through that Seventh-day Adventist church on how important it was to have this pyramid. Kellogg's was a Seventh-day Adventist man that created this junk for children. Kellogg's is a junk for children. It's completely against health. Breakfast is the most important. Now you eat this crap and destroy your metabolic system, as you said. So, but at one point it becomes a cultural thing. Everybody's doing it. You don't have to get the deep information about the pyramid. Nobody's thinking about it. Same thing with Santa Claus. We know he's fake, but we do put him all over the place, understanding that he's fake, but we pretend that he's not fake, and we do this for such a long time that, if you ask me, they'll say, yeah, Santa Claus is coming to town, but he's fake. And when you're saying something that's fake so many times through so many people, become part of your society, it becomes part of the lingo, the acceptance. You're not going to argue with everybody, hey, Santa Claus is fake, because they're not going to like you, because these guys are dark. Okay, so when it comes to the American Pitbull Terrier, yesterday a guy asked about, he was complimenting me yesterday on one of my social media accounts, and he was saying like, Chico is like the greatest thing that ever came to the dogs, and he's saving the breed and promoting great things here and there. And at that particular moment, we're like, oh my God, this guy, and then some guy that knows me, that's seen me, but it bothers me, burns him to know that I am who I am. And because, and this is the deal, this bum had the pleasure to exchange words with me, so somehow these people get confused. If they can talk to the president on one level, like, hi, how are you, person, give them that confidence, they believe like we're the same. They have these liberals, they have this mentality, we're the same, so they can talk. So this guy is, for him, it's hard to understand that I'm above Carver, above Sorrells, above all those guys when in terms of, adding value to the real breed and merits and growth and more than anything else, merits and growth and so on and so forth, consistency, greatness, global grand champions, trying the world, the whole thing, the whole journey thing.
So they're limited.
They're limited. So a lot of people, you can't believe somebody went to the moon because, you live in the middle of nowhere, you don't know what even a car is, right? So you don't believe that can happen.
No, it's something like, the guy went to the moon, the guy's a fucking astronaut, the guy's changing the world, but you study with him on the school, and then you think, we are the same.
We are the same. Bravo. That's exactly the example I was giving you. Very nice you mentioned that. So what happens is these people, and going back to the pyramid of food and how that relates to the dogs, there were families of people, it was not a standard, but the majority, the people that had great dogs, they wouldn't share them with anybody. They were their own dogs, and there was a trade. You know, I'm gonna bring your female to my male. We're gonna get some puppies.
They keep
We can
everything.
sell them. We keeping everything. So you are Miss Johnson, I'm Mr. Washington, and we keeping those dogs, and we're doing this back in the 1800s, mid 1800s.
Because
By the time
at that time, the only thing they want
it
is
was
to betterment the dogs.
to betterment the dogs, to
that
make the dogs
bloodline-
better.
The bloodline represent themselves.
They have the last name.
It's not about.
They didn't have a fake
I'm-
name.
I'm going to breed everything and sell everything, and I don't care what the result is. You understand?
Exactly. Part of that culture. Back in the 1800s, this was a Meritage social dog. This was Ferguson's centipede. So they had a name. Now these Joyos invented something. I'm going to be called a kennel something. By being a kennel something, there's a couple of things that happen. And nobody will call himself a shadow or powers of the night, demons, whatever, and these, tremendous sounding names that sound power or sound whatever, and they have muds. They still have muds.
And people don't understand.
And
that
now, you know,
the same people
never
that
quit
have
this
this,
and blah, blah.
that have
Yeah.
these kennels are the ones that created the bullies.
They-
Today they hate the bully, but there was themselves in the past some similar that created the
They
bullies.
can go to ridiculous levels. I had guys that told me, like, guy used to like, hey, what's up, Chico, man? Yeah, you know, I know about you, man. Everybody talks about you, man. A lot of people respect you. Some idiots hate you, but, you know, hey, Chico, you know, man, I'm a dogman. Say, how many dogs? Well, I got bullies now, so I'm a bully dogman. I'm like, what are you talking about? What the fuck is a bully dogman? You were there driving when I was talking to the guy. I said, man, you gotta be fucking serious, bro. What are you?
A bully dog.
And so these guys are ridiculous. I mean, you go from one moron of level to the next moron level. But let me go back into the to those guys. So this guy was asking about John P. Kobe, and of course there's more than one John P. Kobe. You know, the junior, the second, the third, whatever, the fourth, the fifth.
And you
whatever
know
can
that
be.
John P. Kobe was the first one from the Irishmen that started selling dogs for everyone.
Selling dogs
at that
to
time,
anyone for $1.
Look.
There were a few other guys, but he was the main one.
But let me tell you something.
And 1 second. And so, of course, the guys that register pit bulls, they love him. The more he breeds, the more he sells. And then the famous word, how you doing, son? If you buy this bitch here, and you buy this male, you can start to become a dogman and a breeder yourself and start making some dogs. And of course they register a lot, because if he breed, they get money from Kobe when he bred them, because he registered them. They get money from the guy that makes the transfer. And then when that guy breed them and sell them to anybody with $1, anyone, they get the dog. So the mutation started right there. And the whole idiot idea that any idiot that buy a dog, which you should be a good dog owner instead, it should be, listen to me, you get a great dog, you protect it, you don't breed it because you don't know shit, whatever you think you don't know. And you stop it right there. You see what I'm saying? You stop it right there. And what happens is this continues. And so this moron that bought these 3 dogs, these 5 dogs, these 7 dogs, now got 31 dogs, he goes for 20 to 30 years being the dog owner, and hey, we're rolling dogs, we're checking our stock, yeah, we're checking the gameness. These guys don't know crap. They don't know what level of gameness is. They don't know. They read some books and they repeat the same thing somebody else says, and they're happy with good dogs are where you find them, which means that me going for 30 years. Listen to the acceptance of idiocy. Going for 30 years breeding dogs, and good dogs is where you find them. I could not live with that. I created great dogs are if Chico Lopez bred this dog and you get it directly from him. I created that.
You know what I think about this, everything when I say right now is this. Kobe had a great intention. He wanted to make this dog popular because he loved the breed. But the thing that he did something very big, and this get out of control and start his culture become like addicted. You know, other people wants to become like Kobe and
all
breed
these
and blah,
dogs
blah,
in
blah.
Latin America, all
And
these
you-
much
and-
came
and
because
you know
something he did
what
in the
happened?
past.
I just remember this quote: "Hard times make strong men. Strong men make easy times. Easy times make weak men." And we are in this era of weak dogs and weak men and everything destroyed. And right now, in this moment, that's the moment when the strong men return to make,
Who? Me and you?
Exactly.
Just us two. And maybe a few followers that maybe going to put a comment, raise their hands. Say, I raise my hand too, Chico. I'm going to be a good owner. Because there's no chance for Dogman. Let me explain to you something. Dogman's went in levels and kept on growing, developing. Not everyone that owns dogs is a Dogman. Exactly. So the whole concept of, I'm a kennel. If you're a kennel, more than likely you're not a Dogman. There were a few men that were Dogmen. Even myself, I used to be up in house kennels. And we started with that mentality. I didn't want to be up in house kennel. I just wanted to be Chico. And somebody came over and said, nah, man, you got to push yourself through this. And there was a scumbag from up north that came and said, hey, he wrote in a magazine, yeah, man, whoever you are, you give good people like me a bad name. I was a rookie with a street dog that became a legend. They couldn't live with it. It bothers them that I was bold, that I was strong, and I was going to be better. And you know what that did to me? It motivated me. You know where those motherfuckers are today? Way beneath me. Beneath me. The worst thing that can happen to these guys is like somebody might walk up and say, listen, that's Chico. They say, oh man, I think he was a little taller, Chico looked handsome on videos, but look at this fat motherfucker right here. Who's this guy? But are you sure? Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Chico? I love your chilindrina, your Shega dog and all that stuff. And man, that's not me, man. That's somebody else. You know what I'm saying? These dogs, and I tell you, time passes. And if you're strong, if you don't give up, you continue. But the mold of being a real dogman is just a few. Being a dogger is what they call dogman. The same way you see a blue dog with a big old head and somebody stand up with 1,000 people, 3,000 people, point and say, that is a pitbull, that is a pitbull. The same way they say, that guy is a dogman, that guy is a dogman. That's the way I see it. So that guy is not no dogman. What, 30 years, 40 years breeding dogs that makes him a dogman? Fighting dogs that makes him a dogman? What he does that makes him a dogman? He's not a dogman.
Because everyone are the same level. And
they don't have value, Thais.
They
don't have value.
Each other and say,
bravo,
what you are doing, you don't have to have merits. All the efforts you are doing, you already are dogman because of the efforts that you have.
Is that democratic, liberal way of thinking, like let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya, we all equal as long as we're friends and blah blah blah, let's cook some chickens and some bullshit. What will you say is a great advice for someone listening to this? Or let me just say this, and then you add value to that, okay? The greatest thing...
You can ask me.
I can ask you, okay, I'm going to ask you. Then I'm going to come back to you, guys. But hopefully you cover everything. So what would be a great advice to someone listening to this? Got a few months, didn't know where he got him from. Some of them... By the way, before we go into that, just a second, let's make a pause. We'll leave for another time in another podcast why the pedigree was the boom of destruction. Why the word pedigree is the boom. Write down in the comments, Chico, I want to hear why the pedigrees are the boom doom, the destruction of the dogs from the 1990s. The dogs in the 1990s.
Pedigree paradox. The pedigree paradox.
The pedigree paradox. How they destroy. There were guys that got, I got a Bolio dog. Today they come in, I got a Bolio dog, you know what I'm saying? And I want to breed him. What do you think?
You go back to the past and you get a Bolio dog? A direct son of Bolio?
No, I got this squinkly motherfucker. We call him Bolio. Listen to me. Uh-huh. Tell me what advice would you give these young kids that they listen to this podcast and they're waging everything they're hearing. They're going to the forums and they hear the thugs going back and forth and they're going to gossip. Because gossip is really what moved them, it's on everything. Like, if they love to hate Tom Brady, they love to love him. If he throws a fart, there's news. And as long as the conversation keeps on going. So people love gossiping. People love all this BS. People love all this crap. And we're not the kind of people. We like marriage, we like excellent stuff like that.
You know what happened? You come from a world of competition. You come from the drag racing merits and competition. So you understand
The street level and the professional level.
You understand that to be number one and to be number two, the difference between the winner and the first loser is fraction of a second.
Sometimes today's like smash.
Okay, today's smash and etc. But you understand that there are details that are very important.
Oh yeah.
So you come
very costly.
You come from the world. You cannot expect that Jojo from the backyard understand that, because their whole life they are only eating McDonald's. They never taste a great steak. So you cannot.
No.
But they have some limitations.
So what would be the advice you will give to those guys? What would be the advice you give?
This Jojo from the backyard, their dream is to go to these forums and talk to other people. They don't understand that those people.
So hold on 1 second. So what you're telling me is
it's just lost the same way he is lost. When you go.
So that's their moment of like, oh my God, exactly. The meeting of idiots.
Those guys that don't understand that those forums is like a blind society. One taking each other, all blind. They
no
don't
eyes.
know. Blind.
No eyes.
No eyes. They don't know where they are going. They have no goal. They have no strategic. They are just feeding dogs.
Wow.
Ear
a strategic.
By ear,
that word is too big for them.
Ear.
A strategy.
They have no
future.
No future. When these guys, they are with 9 years old, they're going to ask them, what could you do better in your life if you can go back? They say, I will never enter the dogs. I'll never waste my life. I lost my family. I lost my kids. I lost everything, Yep. And they live in a fear because they have all these dogs. They don't have a goal. They're just breeding dogs like plants.
And they're worse and worse. And that's why they change from one bloodline to the next bloodline. Somebody else have to make that so they can switch to it. Mm-hmm. They cannot create something special and be part of the creation. They're always using somebody else's name to build something. Listen, this podcast, you can listen to it in the car. It might be a little long.
And you need to understand.
So I want you to give me an advice, though.
You need to understand something. I'm going to give the advice. If you now listen to the podcast and you are a smart kid that got lost because someone told
for a few years,
someone told you, oh, do this.
Do you have much that you're breeding or not? Maybe breeding so much, right?
You have now the opportunity to change your life. Sell those mutts.
Give them away. Castrate them.
Castrate them.
Take a loss like a man.
Exactly.
That's the first thing. You gotta take a loss like a man. If you don't take a loss like a man and you sell them to other Jojo, you're part of the problem.
Take a loss like a man and get rid of everything.
Go to college.
Go to college or not go to college. Become an entrepreneur.
Not everybody has the capacity.
Put your energy into your family, into something else, because those dogs in the future, they're going to cost you a lot of things. You understand?
More than anything else.
And if you love the breed, just get 1 or 2 dogs and be happy with it. Be happy with the final product. A great dog from a great man. They're going to impress you every day. They're going to make you happy. You understand? You don't have to go to forums. You don't have to talk to the morons. You don't have to talk to the stupidity guys. That, this dog that you have is better than my dog, blah, 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 blah. This conversation like girls. They're like, all this drama. Who have the better dogs and all in this, ¿cómo se dice? La paja mental.
La paja mental, yeah, jerking off mentally.
Jerking off the things that is just dreamers.
When I tell you something.
But this podcast, this subject today, we decided to do this video because I was looking to this boxer, and this boxer have a golden retriever. And I was thinking by myself, looking this guy, giving love to this golden retriever. I have nothing against golden retrievers, but I just thinking that, wow, the American Pitbull Terrier is a dog that was so mistreated, so prejudiced against the dogs, that these men, they don't understand that this dog they have, this golden retriever, is not a mismatch to his personality. He cannot go running with this golden retriever. This golden retriever cannot push him to be better. Like you see Chris Cyber. Every single advertise Chris Cyber give. She's running with Holly. She said, Holly, promote me to run more and better. Royce Gracie, the same thing. So I was thinking about why, and it is so sad that those dogs got misunderstood by society. And today, when the family, they have kids, strong kids, they want to get a new dog, then it's like
that is a very sad topic, really.
The Pitbull is not even
in the conversation.
Their five top choices, because in their head is not a trustable dog, is not a loyal dog, but they don't even know the real dog. They only know those dogs that society mistreat them, that the media completely mistreat them. And when me and Chico, we are talking about we are saving the breed. We tell this with a lot of pride, because because we are teaching people what really is the real American Pitbull.
The benefits
and all the great qualities this dog has.
In comparison, how superior this dog is in the areas of strength.
If you are a loyal person, if you love to work out, if you have high energy, if you understand all of this, if you are a lone wolf, you don't need to have all these friends of those peers. You are basically like a real Pitbull.
I want you to put these words together again on another project. Exactly. Don't forget what I just told you right now. Okay. For the next project, I'm going to do a little project with that. Uh-huh. I want you to understand something, guys. We breed American Pitbull Terriers 24/7. We're in the bed. We're thinking about it. That we have these amazing dogs that keep promoting us, keep doing this. And why do we do this? We only breed 40 to 60 dogs a year. We don't really listen. Within the first 2 weeks, I will sell these dogs if I want to sell them. But I take a year to sell them. You know why? Because 99% of people that call me get declined. And the reason why they get declined is because the name of American Pitbull Terriers had been thrown to the dirt. Is the dog of the thug, is the dog of the drug dealer, is the dog of the criminal in the neighborhood, is the dog of the guy with no future, And
I have a request to ask you guys. If you are a good person, if you're not a breeder, and for some reason Chico didn't understand you, Chico, maybe jump to the conclusion very fast, call again and explain, hey Chico.
Do you know how many guys?
Hey,
listen. I have a good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, very important. He calls me, hey, my dear friend, how are you? I'm having dinner here with my neighbor, and he's telling me that he called you to buy a dog from you, and you wouldn't sell him a dog. Why you wouldn't sell him a dog? And he's very sad because he bought a Merle collar bully that is like crap, and he wants to talk to me. So, I can't convince you to sell him a dog. And I didn't know the guy. The guy actually is a good guy. He's a businessman actually, and I would have done very well if you didn't explain to me. You don't tell me, listen, Chico, I'm actually a good person or whatever. I won't sell you a dog. Listen, I am very jealous of my dogs. I wanted to be with great people. I didn't know before I sold dogs to the public like this that I will have a feeling of enjoyment to see these dogs develop with the new families and happiness. And this became now something that I really appreciate and I love. I don't want to see my dogs in the hands of.
Do you know what we don't want to see? We don't want to see dogs in the mud, in a chain, in the hot weather, being abandoned outside, being mistreated.
If you have one dog,
being abused. No.
If you have one dog, you don't do that. The guys that does that, they have 30 to 40 dogs, and they learn from the wrong person. And yes, and let me explain something to you. I'm not against with the dog having a chain in the patio.
I'm not saying
and you putting the dog to take a crap or to be there. You can even leave. In my opinion, if the dog has shade and has a house, I will leave him there for a few days. They like it. I know to a lot of people it sounds kind of weird, but the dogs actually love to run and pull against the chain. I never have taken a dog off a chain where he was sad and Oh my God, you left me here. Hey, I'm so weak, just like the dog. Nah, he's like, hey, what's up, Chico? How are you? They're always hyper and everything. But what Thais talking about is the classic American thought. You know, that guy right there, we don't want. Listen, guys, it's being a long project. If we find many comments saying, thank you guys, I just subscribe, I just hit like, I would love for you to add more. And I see long comments, I love it, a great boom boom. I listen to the code word is going to be, the code word is going to be called the backman. Today is the backman for the video. You went to the end of the video, it's called the backman, right? The backman, you start and say, listen guys, we love it. Keep doing this. We will continue to, we will do it for you. It takes our time. I want you to know time is the most valuable currency we have. If we will pay, you know, people, I don't want to say we because I don't want to be in that position, but I say people that have millions and millions of dollars will pay millions of dollars so they can bring back the person they love the most, at least for 1 hour. And they cannot buy that time. So it doesn't matter how much money you have in Bitcoin. It doesn't matter how many Ferraris and Lamborghinis you have. Your biggest currency that you cannot buy back is time. So we give you these, our time. And listen, more than likely, you, the listener, might not qualify to buy a dog. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe I will sell you, maybe I won't sell you.
Maybe you're not ready right now.
Maybe you are not ready now. Maybe you're ready in a few years from now.
Maybe you are not ready, but your son will be ready.
Yeah, and this is a service to you to let you know, don't be a dog fighter. Don't be a dogman because you're not going to be a dogman. The mold of being a dogman is finished. No. If these guys are confused being a dogman with dog fighter, we'll go to jail for sure. So listen to me. No breeders. If you're a breeder, don't call me for anything. If you're a dog fighter, lose my number. Don't call me for anything. If you want to talk worse stuff, like I just want to talk shit, Chico. Really? My time to listen to you talk shit? Back, hang up, and just block the number. Guys, I got to get going here. Today is Valentine's Day. Have a great day. What a great podcast. I love being here next to the side of the mighty Thais Lopez. I mean, what a pleasure. An amazing woman. Every way I think about it, just tremendously have uplifted me. And listen, man, homeless guy like me, you know, she's a millionaire. I'm just a poor guy, you know what I'm saying? I get fed by her.
Don't believe it.
I don't got money. Listen, you gotta tell people you don't got money because the moment you tell them you got money, you know what they do? Lend me some money. Hey guys, God bless you. Take care. Last word by Thais Lopez.
I just want to say that thank you very much for all the great comments you guys are putting in the channel. And Chico is very excited every day to see this. So, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Like Chico says, the time is a great currency. The best is the most precious currency. So, go spend your time with your wife, with your girlfriend, with your kids, with your best friend. You understand? And don't miss this opportunity. We see you soon, guys.
Bye-bye.
From the House of the Legends. Bye-bye.